Family, what's good? This is Teddy D back with another episode of the Why Not Podcast. As always, you can reach out to me at the Why Not Podcast at gmail.com. Reach me on Twitter at Teddy_D_. And please support the other podcasts I'm happy to be a member of, which is the Wrap Up Podcast, where we wrap up different shows. Right now, I think they're doing Power. I'm not on that one. I'll explain my issues one day. Don't worry about it. And the other show is the Black Astronauts Podcast, which as of now we are running a campaign to help the team go down to Dragon Con in Atlanta, bring some awesome footage, great interviews, and just the material you guys come to expect from the network. So please go to Black Astronauts website, or you can go to Loot Crate /BAP pod and support the show that way, as well as the Amazon page. So speaking of Black Astronauts, listen, I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of excited because anybody who's been a fan of the Black Astronauts Network knows that it's not only the main show that's there, but there's also some really good offshoots as far as different shows that the network has to diversify a little bit. The first one airs Untitled Interview. Of course, we had Ladies Launch. And now the newest show, three of our play cousins. And if you've listened to BAP, more than likely you've caught at least one of their shows and laughed like I usually do. We have all three members of the Houston We Have a Problem podcast. So tonight we are going to start with let's go from alphabetical order, which I'm trying to do in my head real quick.
H-I-J-K-L-N-O.
Is it L? Is it L?
K. No, it's K.
K. Dang it. I thought, dang it. Either way is horrible.
I tried.
So we'll start with K, which apparently is before L.
I'm gonna
Look
put
at that.
myself on mute because I'm about to.
I'm so mad that you had to sing the alphabet.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's better to count on your fingers and get it right. That's all I'm saying.
But you got it wrong.
Well, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Just don't judge me. All this judgment. So
prayer circle for y'all education tonight.
Shout out to public school. So we'll start with Krystal. Welcome to the show. What is going on? How are you doing tonight, ma'am?
Hey, I feel a lot of pressure.
No pressure. No pressure. You good.
To go first. Hey, nothing special is happening with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what to say because Raven said she would beat me if I don't act right. So I'm Krystal.
Here you go. Already not acting right.
Oh my God.
Well,
I'm Krystal and I exist, and God bless everybody.
Outstanding. Where can they reach out to you? Because you not only are a part of this podcast, but you do some awesome things on YouTube. You have your own channel. If anyone was interested to hear that, where would they go?
Well, as long as I have permission from Mama Raven, yes, you can find me on YouTube as Krissy Chula. It's KRISSYCHULA. I just basically make videos of whatever is on my mind, and also do recaps of different television shows that I watch. And then you can find me on Twitter as the Krissy Chula and on Tumblr as the Krissy Chula. Basically everywhere. If you find me one place, you'll find me everywhere. So
except on Instagram. Good luck finding her there.
No idea.
If you find me on Instagram, that means you're paying attention. So congratulations to you. If you find me on Snapchat, then that means you're dedicated, and I appreciate you looking that deep. Good job. Where else am I at? On Patreon. So if you want to contribute to my YouTube channel and help me build it, you can go on patreon.com/Krissy Chula, become a patron and contribute $1, $50, whatever. I don't care.
Nice. Okay. All right. And listen, now that I got this alphabet down, I know next we are going to the homie Lloyd.
You better be confident.
That's right.
Yeah.
Walk in my
Even when
truth.
you're wrong, you should be
Saying
confident.
that
you're wrong.
alphabet one more time. He was like K.
Well,
What's so
okay.
bad is even if it was C, I was still wrong. So I mean, I got nothing. So yeah. So Lloyd, what's going on with you?
Right now, I am sweating out my press and curl
Oh, that's impressive.
because the devil has decided to breathe on Earth this weekend.
Wow.
This week, just all of that. It's like 1,000 degrees in my house. So,
But you was looking cute this weekend, though.
You know what? My press and curl did hold up, though.
You was looking. I can't even
Thank
hate.
you, thank
Did you get your nails done this color today? I'm on your Instagram page. I'm sorry. That's a cute color. Anyway.
Thank you. What's going on with me? I just finished my second semester of graduate school. Thank God.
My goodness.
And I'm getting ready to go to Jamaica in 2 days. So I thank you guys for recording early for me. I did really want to be. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, nice.
But I will definitely be on the beach getting sand in my butt for everybody.
Thank you. I don't know.
That's the best I can do for everybody. Don't ask me to bring nothing back. I can be found on Twitter and IG at @thatgirl_Lloyd. And yes, that's with 2 L's, an O, a Y, and a D like David. And my Snapchat is Lloyd_Banks with the triple X. But do not snap me anything rated R because I am getting married. It is not cool.
That's right. Only respectable snaps over here. I like it. I like it. And last but not least, the homie Ray. What's going on with you?
I haven't been saying anything because we're not allowed to curse on this podcast.
Just speak real slow.
I would like to thank Lloydia for being a nice Kelly. I wish that Michelle would get a life.
The fact that you think you are Beyonce.
The fact that I know
that
I'm
you think you
Beyonce.
and you the brokest, and you the
Krystal, you should go on mute right now because you might curse. Let me just tell you guys, we now are going to call you our play cousins. This is going to be a very hard podcast for us because our podcast is very much rated R.
Yeah, we'll get to it. Yeah, we'll
I am so glad that y'all's conversation, was so important. No, I'm messing with y'all, but let's see what's been up with me today. I was at work praying for something to happen so that I could go home early, and guess what happened? Something did something with some power, and now like the internet at work and the phones were down, and I couldn't do anything, so I went.
What kind of description?
Won't they do it?
I mean, because I don't want to say like lightning struck the building because I don't know if that's what happened, but something happened where it like fried a lot of electronics, and I got to go home early, and that's what's important to me.
Okay. All right. Don't worry about
right.
the loss of life. That's whatever, man.
Nobody died, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You didn't hear it screaming.
Yeah, we would've got a
Well, I
group
mean,
of
if
them.
they did, you don't care because you got to go home.
I wouldn't know about it until I got home, so it's whatever. But yeah, I was really appreciative of that. And other than that, and having my dog side eye me all day. Yeah, she's dealing with me still, but she's upset that I haven't taken her for a walk, but she'll be fine. Other than that, you can find me potentially on the internet at This Date Is a Jerk.
Nice. And if they wanted to reach out to the show, what's the show handle?
You can tweet us at Tifa Tried It, or you can email us at HoustonWeHaveAProblemPod@gmail.com.
Dope. So the name of the show, Houston, We Have a Problem. Now, if you don't mind, what city are all three of you in right now?
Well, I am in Houston.
Okay.
I'm currently hot as HE double hockey sticks in Cincinnati.
H-E-double. You can say hell. It's okay, look.
No, because I'm a slide. It's a slippery soap. I got to watch myself.
Slippery slope.
And Krystal, are you in Ohio as well?
I'm currently in Cincinnati, but I was born and raised in Cleveland.
Dope.
People from Cleveland.
Like a
It's
true
it's
Cleveland
important for me to say that because I don't want anybody to think that I'm from Cincinnati. I
Ooh.
never.
No,
want
you know
anybody
what?
to mistake
That's
that.
understandable. I understand that.
I never want anybody to think that.
Wow. That's a lot of Cincinnati shade. Shout out to our Cincinnati listeners. They might be,
Yeah.
So talk to me about. I asked because I'm curious on how the name of the show came about. Houston, We Have a Problem.
Well, that's actually, it's not that interesting of a story, I guess. When we finally got around to like getting the podcast, we had to come up with a name. And Aaron kind of wanted us to keep the astronaut theme going. And so we had to come up with something that was astronaut-y, but was still going to be true to the vibe of the show.
And 3 Black Girls in Space was already taken. Gotcha.
You know what? We had something similar to that with a lot more curse words, but Aaron said no.
He just made that real quick.
All right. So you guys have gotten a fair amount of shows in already, man, in a relatively short time. Listening to the shows, I think Aaron and I were talking about it when he mentioned you guys after the show one day, and I was like, it always had good chemistry, so I really wasn't worried about that with you guys. But it's also gotten, I don't know, you see the improvement, if that makes any sense. So like, the passion was there, you had a good format out the gate. But do you feel like you guys are hitting more of a groove now than in the beginning? And what
absolutely not, because then we'd have to say that this whole Raven is Beyonce. How dare you think you're Beyonce?
Yeah, I have no idea where Raven ever got in her mind that she was Beyonce. I have no idea where that came from.
I was going to politely point out it is Houston we have a problem, and
Thank
Beyonce's in Houston, and so
Raven. They never said Ohio we have a problem, because we be trying to keep it chill over here.
Right.
Ain't no room for no rockets.
Also, Houston we have a problem is a line from a movie. So
I feel like,
there's a lot of women that live in Houston. That don't mean that every woman in Houston is Beyonce.
But who came out of Cleveland? Fight.
What do you mean? Who?
Right,
what do you mean? Who came?
Stay focused.
What do you mean? Who came out of Cleveland? What is
We
that?
go-
They ain't got no training.
Krystal text me. So, do I think that we've gotten into a better groove? Do y'all think that we've gotten into a better groove?
Since I joined, I think it's gotten better.
You know what? I'll give you that.
Ew.
Look at that.
That's all I'll give
A
you.
compliment on that show is hard to come by. That's what's up.
I feel like it got better after I got on.
I think that overall, we've gotten a lot better. It's been easier for us to remember that we're recording a podcast and that we're not like just talking to each other. Mm-hmm. Because when we would record, I do the editing for it before before Aaron sends it out. So like I would be sitting there and I'm laughing at the conversation. I'm like, Jesus, this is supposed to be a podcast where we're hitting points. We just talking to each other. Because most of the time, like, we're busy throughout the week, and Krystal is famous adjacent, so she really ain't got no time for us. Right. So this is the only time that we really get to talk.
I make time for you. Thank you.
Girl, so first I'm not Beyonce, then she make time for me.
You are Beyonce.
She says, okay.
Focus. Come on back.
How you Beyonce and you ain't got nothing but time, though?
Oh my God! Because you know what? What
do you mean? What do you do? Like, what are your activities?
Yeah, I think we've got.
Oh, okay.
All right. The question.
Jesus, we can't curse. So.
I just wanted to know. I was curious. I was asking a question. I had it free.
All you doing is poking. That's all you doing.
I was just because I make time for Lloydia.
She does make time for me.
So.
You said that hell is as high as we can go.
Just text her all the words you want to say.
You better not.
It's coming right now.
No, it's not.
Oh man. But yeah, I think that overall the podcast has gotten a little bit more pointed in the sense that we and the fact that we're getting the podcast aspect of it together, and it's not so much of just a conversation between friends, like we go on, we have a docket, we put topics onto the docket, we all kind of have an idea of what we want to talk about. We disagree on some things, but we're able to amicably move on from it. It's not a podcast where we're arguing, it's a podcast with 3 women. And despite how it sounds, we love each other. We don't hate each other usually. And
a lot of qualifiers right there. Despite how it sounds, usually
If you see my text messages right now, you'd understand.
But all right, I mean that's what's up. I hear the growth myself, and it's dope. And one of the things that I love that the show does is something that has been on the tip of everybody's tongue here lately, and that is support Black businesses. So there's a segment in the show where you always shout out a Black business that you guys have actually been a customer to. Like this is not a situation where somebody's sending you free products and you're reviewing them, which for the record, nothing wrong with that. If y'all want to send them, feel free. Houston, we have a problem. Reach out to them.
Yeah.
But this is y'all, using your actual money to support Black businesses and telling people about it when you're impressed. So how that idea start, and I mean, it's got to be fun. It's got to be a dope thing.
It's super dope, actually. I mean, I have a lot of fun recording the show, and I tend to be the absent cousin a lot. But I definitely enjoy it. It's like a good way for me to vent my thoughts.
Yeah.
At the same time, having a person I respect challenge my thoughts, because I think that's good for growth. But like you said, the show has definitely gotten better, because it's not just me and Raven talking. And sometimes we're a little too close in thought. So Krystal was a great addition, even though she be fake, famous adjacent, and acting like she's not going to let me hold the bottle when she get famous forward facing.
Here we go. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I'm not even going to lie to you. I kind of forgot what your original question was. Was it about the Black businesses? Like,
yeah, well, one and the same. So the part of the show where you guys highlight the Black businesses and just the show in general, though, like whatever you feel like touching, either way is fine.
Well, I think it's very, 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 very important. The Black business portion. I think that's probably my favorite part of our podcast, and it also challenges me. At least it's been challenging me to seek out Black businesses now. I think it's important that we give money back to our community, and that we encourage entrepreneurship and continue to encourage community and, financial growth and financial stability. And so I think it's so important that not only we keep up, that we educate people and let people know, hey, this business like this is out there and you can go support them. But it's also important for us, because I know, once again, speaking for me, it's challenged me to look and find other Black businesses. And, I found so many websites and a couple of different apps. So I think it's helped me out, too.
That's dope. That's definitely dope. So, all right, this is a nice little intro. What we're going to do is take a quick break. Just stick with us, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Today we are here with Houston. We have a problem podcast. We have in alphabetical order, Krystal, Lloyd, and Ray. If you want to check out the show, just feel free to go to the Black Astronauts podcast, and you'll usually see the shows with the initials Houston. We have a problem in there, right? Like that's the best way best way to see
You
it.
know what? That's actually a pretty new thing. Like when someone said to me, and I had to think about it for a second. I was like, "What's this?"
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's us. Okay. Yeah.
oh,
That'll work.
That's cool.
You know what? It's one of our favorite.
Did you come up with that, Beyonce?
You know what? One of our cousins did, actually. She started the hashtag and then Aaron just ran with it. If I had my Twitter up, I would be able to tell you exactly what her name is. But she know who she is.
Nice.
We'll tweet
I
it.
appreciate you, cousin. By the end of this show, Raven will figure it out because she's Beyonce.
Right.
She makes things happen.
Yeah, that's a
I'm actually digging it. I'll be just saying HWAP now because it just sounds better to me. Yeah.
HWAP.
You know what? Yeah, I'll go with that. That's good. So speaking of podcasting and your shows, I'm always curious when we highlight a show on this show is what was your relationship with podcasting before you guys decided to jump behind the mic and do your own? And this time we'll go reverse. So we'll start at the end of the alphabet. Ray, how about that?
Yeah.
I'm just styling on y'all right now. But yeah, so Ray, talk about just your journey with podcasting, anything from when you started to listen, some of the shows. Just feel free.
I started listening to podcasts in like 2010, 2011. I started off with This Week in Blackness.
Yeah. That's always a good starting point.
Yeah, I started off with This Week in Blackness.
Shout out to Elon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then that led me to The Black Guy Who Tips. And then, once you get into The Black Guy Who Tips, like you jumped into the deep end.
Yeah, man. Riding Karen. Yeah.
So I've been listening to podcasts for years. Like now it's really my main source of entertainment. Like when I'm in the car, when I'm at work, when I'm at home, like I'm listening to podcasts all the time. And so, yeah, when Aaron had actually been trying to get me to do a podcast for easily like 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Now, what was your hesitation? Just out of curiosity.
Well, for one, to be honest, I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I listened to so many shows and I'm just like, well, all of these shows already talk about what I want to talk about. Don't nobody want to listen to me I feel like I didn't have anything to say. I'm still surprised that people listen to us.
Actually, you and me both.
Really?
Girl, you know what? And so
I'm not.
And so
good job.
When I finally came around to the idea of who I would do a podcast with, I chose the person who low key, she told me that we should have started a podcast before I even moved to Houston. And then somebody who would be a good separation, like Lloyd said earlier, between me and her, because we're very, very close in mind. We think alike. So we need somebody that's going to separate us out. That's going to bring us down to earth.
The voice of reason.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, what?
See how they
I
were
gave
with
you
you
something
right,
earlier.
right
You're giving yourself too much.
They were almost with you. So Lloyd, what about you? What'd your podcasting journey start?
It actually started through Ray. She's like, yeah, you should listen to this podcast. And I was like, do I really want to? Do I have time? Of course, I started with This Is a Read because that's what she suggested. Then I got into Serial, which I've been meaning to tell you. I've gotten deep.
I'm literally only like 3 weeks into Serial. I listened to both seasons. Incredible.
See, I'm saving that for I have like a good 8 episodes, but I'm going to listen to them all while I'm in the airport and traveling all day. Like that's probably.
So wait, what season are y'all on?
There's only 2.
I mean, yeah, but like, are you done with the first season? Or are you done? Are you listening to the second season?
Listen to both.
I started the second season. I think I have like 1 episode left in the first season.
Oh, okay, because I was going to ask if you think he did it or not.
Yeah. Well, he's very convincing. He's very convincing. And I even appreciate the honesty. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't heard Serial, by the way. But I even appreciate his honesty in saying that he doesn't remember certain things. Like he just flat out doesn't remember, can't explain it. So, like if he were lying, I don't know. Like if you had more of an explanation, then I would look at you a little bit more sideways. But That's my.
But I also feel like if my girlfriend went missing and I knew that they were going to look at me, I would be able to recount up to the minute everything I did. And nobody has that bad of a day, bruh. Like, I am unlucky. I have bad days. I ain't had that bad of a day in a long time, you know?
But low key, that's one of my biggest fears is like if God forbid anything happens and I'm a suspect in a crime and they want me to remember the details of my day second by second, minute by minute, I don't know if I can do it.
Oh, bro.
I legit don't know if I can do it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so please check it out.
But yeah,
Serial.
Ray put me on. I moved on to Serial. I've gotten into, of course, Black Astronauts podcast. I'm going back and forth with older episodes, listening up. And I just got into, I'm the late one, of course, the Black Guy Who Tips, like 2 weeks ago. Because I've been, unfortunately, I wish I had more time to dedicate to listening to podcasts. I'd be doing other things.
No, we get it. We get it. Like for me, I've always had a job where I could listen to a podcast while I work. So that's where I do the bulk of my listening.
As well as the Why Not podcast. If I didn't mention that before.
You gotta listen to yourself.
But I haven't had that type of job. Like I have been doing customer service for like 8 years of my life. And usually most companies are like, you cannot listen to music.
Yeah, take that one headphone out your ear when you're talking to somebody
right.
trying to cuss you out. Yeah,
so on that short drive home, I listen to a couple podcasts here and there, and then I'm doing other stuff when I get home. But I did mention this to Raven like a couple of years ago. What was that 2012?
When
it had to be Earth living in that loft.
Yeah, you were braiding my hair.
Me and Raven it wasn't even a podcast. We just recorded ourselves talking about Beyonce haters and why we're no longer dealing with them. And I still have that. One day we should air it on our show.
Do you?
Yes, girl, I do.
Oh my
it's
God.
It's like us going in for like 12 minutes. I listened to it.
That's already
like
a Christmas bonus episode. That quick. Look at that.
That's a good idea.
I'm so mad.
I just listened to that. I'll email it to you later, but
I
listened to that and I was like, we should definitely do a podcast. And it kind of just was like something I said, and then life happened for us. She moved and I found the love of my life and tried to get my life together because it wasn't before that.
Oh, look at you getting all mushy. Look at you.
Yeah, I'm super mushy.
Yeah, I love it.
About to have a heat stroke up in this. Yeah, up in here.
Peace.
Good catch, Lloyd. Good job. All right, so finally, Krystal, what and this doesn't have to be specifically with podcasts, and I know that you have a really big following on YouTube, and you have a couple of different ways to get entertainment out there. But what was your journey like? Podcasts and YouTube. Like, how did it all start for you?
I really didn't know what podcasts were, and honestly, I still kind of don't understand podcasts. But I'm here, so I started off by just listening to soccer podcasts because I'm a big fan of soccer.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a huge football fan. So,
you even went with the real name. Look at you, fancy. Football.
Yeah. Also, I don't watch American football. It's terrible. It's garbage. So I started off just looking for. I was like, okay, so I guess these are like radio. This is like radio. So I started just listening to those and a couple of different fashion ones. And for a while, a couple of years ago, me and my friend, we were going to do a podcast, but it was going to just be about like types of music that we listen to. We were going to talk about our different music tastes. And then that fell under because life happened and my laptop broke and I got into YouTube and that started like blowing up. So I put my focus in there. And then, I don't know. Then I kind of started getting back into podcasts when I listened to This Is the Read. Shout out to Kid Fury and Krystal. Those are my homies. So I listened to a couple of their episodes and then one day Raven hit me up and was like, do you want to do this with us? And I was kind of like, I don't know, because I don't really know what I'm going to do. And then I was like, I'm kind of focused on my YouTube channel. And then I was like, well, you know what? All right. She said Lloydia was going to, sorry. I said bump
I think
it.
you could bleep that out. That was one.
I said bump it. Excuse me. She said Lloyd was going to be on there, and I was like, "What? I'll do it with Lloyd because Raven is trifling." And
wow.
And
Yes,
so
there's that.
What?
I'm just saying, Raven is super trifling. Just saying.
I mean, she is. Yeah. I at this point in my life, I only show up for Lloydia because
that's so many shots. Okay.
I love Lloydia. I only show up for Lloydia. So I was like, well, you know what? Let me try this and see how I feel about it, and let me just jump on into it. So now that I'm into it, I like it. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, I still don't know how podcasts really work and everything, and how you get on there, because especially on my phone, because I don't know, but I think I'm just too lazy to figure it out.
It's all good, man.
But
I don't even think like Cricket has the app, so it's not a big thing. So just whenever you can, it's fine. Really.
Shade.
See, I did that real.
See, his is so smooth. Like, you be like, yeah, you know what? It is okay. Don't even realize he just came for your whole life.
You know what? I have Verizon. Thank you very much.
I can't. It was just right there. I couldn't help it.
And excuse me, hair flip. I have enough money for Verizon.
Wait. What are you saying about
girl, you
everybody?
Do got it.
What do you say about everybody that's on Cricket, though? I mean, there's nothing wrong with it.
That is a very economical plan.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't so many drop spots in Houston, I would have it. But I don't got Verizon money. I got some cute AT&T money with a discount I got from my job 5 years ago.
There you go. Don't switch my plan. Don't
touch nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm famous adjacent, so I can afford Verizon. So.
Step into it. I like it.
Congrats,
So that's interesting. So like you literally have all three of you are at three different points as far as podcasting goes, which I think is a cool thing about the show, man. So what are you guys looking to grow into, and what's your next steps that you see taking the show taking itself, I should say. Man, my English is all the way bad. What's the next steps that the show will take in your mind? Like, where are you guys trying to go?
Your English teacher somewhere cringing. Just
that's what happens when I try to. That's what happens when I try to multitask and text my wife and talk at the same time. My fault.
Got the alphabet.
Focus on texting your wife, sir. Pull it together.
Right. Get it together.
Where do I hope this goes? Yeah, I probably shouldn't answer this question because I didn't think it would get as big as it did. Like, who wants to listen to us? Like, three little black girls talking.
Dang, have more faith in yourself.
That goes on. I'm still thoroughly tickled by the fact that someone else created a hashtag for us because it just wasn't.
Yeah, like
I'm just saying, humble beginnings. I appreciate each and every one of our play cousins. I appreciate Ray. I appreciate Krystal. I'm hoping that we can be, like, if not the number one show on the Black Astronauts podcast, I will gladly settle for number 2 until they decide to retire. And then we could be number 1.
Girl, we are the number 1 show on the network. Nobody even like Aaron.
I don't know. That Room podcast is, like, for real. Like, I just know all the black nerds just sit up there. Like, even I'm not even that much of a nerd, but I do enjoy listening to that specifically. Like,
yeah,
just to hear him and Feek argue about complete nonsense to me.
Yeah.
Girl, I'm on the show and I'd be like, girl, I am in my phone. Call me when y'all ready for me to talk again, because I don't know what y'all talk about.
But for us, I hope that we can continue to do our podcast even when our famous adjacent friend becomes actually famous, which is actively happening now.
Right around the corner.
Right. She like one toe in. Like, yeah. I hope that we can continue podcasting. I hope to do some of these Comic-Con, Dragon-Cons, all these cons type things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious. I'm hopeful to see where it takes me before I start doing other life things.
Absolutely, man. So with you guys in podcasting and just in general, one of the other things that I love to hear from podcasters whenever we get a chance to talk to them on the show is we've already covered how you got started, where you are, where you want to go with it. But other than podcasts, and what are some of the things that you guys have in your life that gives you some good fulfillment and good meaning? Like, where's the balance from? Because I've seen a couple of guys that, and not just guys and girls, I should say, that I got to stop calling people guys because somebody checked me on that and they were right. Shout out to you, my friend that did that. But like, where do you see, where do you get the other fulfillment in your life from? Is it family or friends? Is it your job, school, whatever it is?
Usually the souls
my
of
mind was on you.
others.
Not my job.
Not the job. Not the job. Yeah.
Not in my case.
I would probably say that I get fulfillment from besides laughing at like children and stuff.
Oh, and this is why she's trash. You see what I'm saying? Like,
probably just all the little hobbies that I have. I have like 1,000 little hobbies. I feel
I
like
thought you said hotties, and I was like, men.
yes, I get my pleasure from men too.
I was like, all right, you got a harem, okay.
Yes, you know me. But I have like a bunch of little hobbies. Like I crochet. I've recently been trying to something like decorate my house. So like I refinished a table. So that was really cool. Like I watch.
Yeah, that looked good. We saw it in the chat. That was good.
Yeah. So like I've been I guess I get my fulfillment out of the only way I can think of is just bettering myself, I guess. That sounds super corny, doesn't it?
No. I mean, listen, the older you get.
Krystal, it sounds super corny, doesn't it?
It does, and you sound 85 with the crochet, but I'm gonna let you.
I mean, Raven is a practicing like hermit crab. Like she's practicing to just not be a part of the world at all. Like she's a social introvert, and she's just honing that skill.
She's practicing to be that terrible old lady that lives at the end of the street.
Hold on, you know what, Ray? I got you. Don't even worry about it. Hey, real quick. So, are you wearing a scarf right now, or how's that going?
Oh my gosh! Let me
my hair.
Jesus.
Right.
This is the
nice
thing,
scarf.
is that I'm going to
send it back to her.
All right, for anybody that doesn't know what's going to happen in the next minute or so, check out Houston. We have a problem. Possibly the biggest point of conflict in the whole show is when Ray went home to visit. Stayed with Lloyd, and somehow, no details needed, Lloyd's scarf ended up with on Ray's head.
I like how you said somehow. This ain't
somehow.
Cheating, man. Tell the truth.
Right,
okay?
tell the truth.
She didn't allegedly take my scarf.
She stole it.
Took my scarf.
She
and then
stole
told me
it.
she have it, even though she was posing on the Snapchat. on the Twitter.
I feel attacked.
Stole it. It was abscond.
I feel as if I should be able to tell my side of the story.
What side? You ain't got no leg to stand on. You stole it.
I'm about 6 foot tall. I have plenty of leg to stand on. So what happened was
you stole it.
I was at Lloydia's house and her scarf found its way into my carry-on luggage. Okay.
You hear her tone just change.
And you can enter Joanne the Scammer meme right here.
Do you hear her tone just change? Like, well,
this is what happened.
It was an accident, and I don't know. It just scooted itself way all into my bag.
I don't know how it wrapped itself around my neck, but it did.
Oops.
And yeah, oops. But I'm practicing being a hermit, and I guess with all I just said, instead of bettering myself, is just creating my habitat so I never, ever, ever have to leave the house.
Okay.
I think that's what I'm going for. I just found out the HEB of the street from my house delivers. So.
What's that?
Groceries for what?
Oh, it's a grocery store?
Oh, crap. Yeah, I'm sorry. Y'all not from here. That's a Houston thing.
All right.
Yeah, so.
Wow.
Nice.
I'm sorry. You guys aren't from here.
Girl, they don't have the Kroger is all the way on the other side of town. Otherwise, I would.
Yeah, shout out to K. Rogers.
Yeah,
I do it right. So, Krystal, what about you? Where's the other
K.
place? K.
Rogers.
I just got real weak in my little heart.
Oh, that's funny. I'm gonna call it that from now on.
Please do.
My fulfillment, I think, it comes from
the souls of children.
Yeah, the suffering of others. My fulfillment comes from money and the suffering of others because I have no soul, so I take other people's.
That's amazing.
And
I didn't know you're a Mortal Kombat character. That's what's up.
I am.
Very Shanks. That's very Sindel of you. Oh, and you got you can do the hair. You should be Sindel for Halloween. That would be dope.
No, I want to be Melena, but
okay, I can do that. Yeah.
Because she was sexy, but she's a demon. So, like, you'd be like, oh, you look good. And then by the time you get up close to her, she can already bit your head off.
Now, is she the one with the fans? Or, yeah, because Katana is the one with the katana. Okay.
See, this is already too much room. I thought we got away with this.
I'm sorry. Yeah. That's Raven's fault. Anyways, no, my fulfillment comes from bettering myself, but more specifically, focusing on my career. So like my YouTube channel, and also our podcast, that kind of, I can say that. Yeah. It kind of, it's given me, it's not giving me purpose, but it's like kind of forced me to step into my purpose. So,
okay.
Like, you know how, I don't know, it was an episode of Oprah.
Oh, Lord.
My auntie Oprah, she was talking to somebody. Yeah, that's my auntie anyways. That's how I paid for school. Anyways, there was an episode and she was talking to somebody and it was just like some people are afraid to admit what their life purpose is and for various reasons. And for me, it was like I was kind of lagging along with the YouTube channel. And so I kind of was like forced into the YouTube channel by the success of it. And then like kind of forced into this podcast and realized that like, oh, okay, well, yeah, this is what I want to do. So that's where my focus, that's where my fulfillment comes from.
Forced into the podcast.
That's dope. So Lloyd, what about you?
I will say this podcast, HWAP, that is, because that's what I'm calling it.
Hashtag HWAP.
Hashtag HWAP is giving
Since
me a
Raven
lot
was
of
mumbling.
It's giving me a lot of fulfillment because I generally love these ladies, despite what it sounds like we said earlier. If there's one thing I could do and be all the way fulfilled, it would definitely be catering.
Oh,
and I'm kind of like teetering around it, working my way towards it, starting with like surf, basically the hygienics of it all, and trying to learn how to quantify food portions because that's like really important for your bottom line. And I generally love cooking, and I was reminded of that yesterday as I was making lasagna rolls for my fiance on Snapchat. If you were watching yesterday, sorry, it got really hot. It was 94 degrees with 50% humidity, so it was like 105 degrees, and my oven was on for like 7 hours.
Man, I rebuke that.
Lasagna rolls and dinner rolls from scratch, and I started to make cookies, but I just had to turn the oven off after a while because I could not stop sweating. So that gives me a lot of fulfillment. I'm starting to realize that I'm going to have to like jump into that. Generally, school is giving me some fulfillment at this moment, even though this semester was, we see when grades come out. Say a prayer for me, play cousins.
Been there.
Oh yeah, probably retaking that class, but I'm going to say for now, HWAP is giving me a lot of fulfillment because it's giving me something to do with my extra time. Because if you listen to our podcast, and I thank you, you know that I had to leave my job because they was trying to play me.
Right. You move that leave date up about 3 times. That's what's up.
Boy, I was trying so hard.
Don't know. Every time we talk to her, we're like, good morning, Lloydia. Good morning. 32 days till I quit my job.
It was like celebratory. Like that was the first time in my life I left the job at my own will.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good feeling.
Yeah, it really is.
You know what I mean? Where you just, and it was also the first time in my life I really had to step out on faith because I didn't have another job lined up. Although I have gotten a lot of better opportunity offers, it's just I'm not trying to do the same role anymore, which is what's making me realize I need to pursue the food thing. Because I'm kind of okay in the kitchen.
I can dig it.
Sometimes the Lord Sometimes the Lord pushes you into your purpose. Cause you be telling them, I'm gonna go left.
Come on now.
But the Lord say, no. I say go right. And then he ends up scooting you in there.
Scoot them.
Cause you don't know. I said you don't know what the Lord has for you.
You gotta turn up that praise music now.
Because when the Lord moves, I said, see, y'all don't hear me. Y'all not listening to me. Y'all not
I'm trying not to start shouting in here. But real talk, that's really how that felt.
When he moves.
Even that job took like so much weight off my shoulders, just so much anger and bitterness. And I've been trying to be better about my own self-care, which I have been really bad at these last 8 years pretty much. And that job was doing something to my like spirit, and I couldn't do it anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for the first time in a long time, I chose my spirit, and I went with the Lord on this one, and he did provide.
There you go. See,
I was quitting that job in January. I got engaged in April. That makes this unemployment just a little bit easier.
Sometimes people do not know that every once in a while, maybe very rarely, you got to sacrifice your bills for your spirit.
Woo! Say it, girl. Look.
Yeah.
No, I don't. That ain't a
still getting
testimony.
paid, just barely though. Just barely.
That's. Yeah. We're not selling people to do that right now.
Somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not telling nobody to do that, but like if you backed into a corner and you about to lose your mind, like
listen, you can't pay no bills from prison. So
right. It's a better alternative than stepping in there and taking some people out. So yeah. By all means, do that.
But I do need to mention there's pretty much been a black sit at that company. Like there was only 10 of us working there, and I think there's like one left now.
Is that the black version of the Brexit? That's what's up.
Yes,
that was coined by.
That is
coined by Lovey. Shout out to her.
The Blacksit.
The black.
So that's what's happened because all of my black old coworkers have texted me. It was like, I'm out. I got a new job. Yeah. One did what I did. He's like, I don't even got a new job. I'm just gonna live off my savings for a while because they got me cursed for it up.
Girl, you started a movement.
Look at that. You
started a movement at your job.
So
I don't know. I ain't got nothing to do with me because, like I said, I ain't endorsing nobody to do what I did. I'm just telling you my experience.
Yeah.
Look at you, Angela Davis.
Well, so that being said, y'all are funny. So what we're gonna do is close it out with one, just any words of advice for anybody thinking about taking that step to podcasting, or even if it doesn't have to do with podcasting, just general life advice to anybody listening and enjoying hearing you guys. Of course, they can always go to the Black Astronauts and check out all your shows. But if anyone is interested in stepping their toe into this water, we'll start with Lloyd and go reverse. What advice would you give to them?
On the financial tip, for everybody, start paying yourself first.
Yeah,
that's something I learned this year. Believe in your financial goals and they will happen. On the black person tip, start investing in your own communities.
Right.
Amen.
Right.
Okay. Black Lives Matter. I don't want to hear about black on black crime if you ain't never been out to none of these protests that's been happening.
Man.
With no media coverage. That's why you don't.
For decades.
Other life advice. If you have a dream and you're willing to work for it, I was basically going to say what Melania Trump said, which Michelle Obama said, but I'm just going to let y'all know.
The petty is on 11
listen
right now.
To
That's good.
Wow.
Hashtag HWAP. Hashtag BAPPOD. Hashtag Loot Crate because they supporting half of us. We appreciate you.
That's what's up. Krystal, any last words from you?
I guess I was trying to think of something. I'm trying to figure out how to word it.
She sucked all the inspiration out. My stuff gonna be whack.
Right. I'll say this to continue on what I was saying before about my fulfillment. Don't be afraid to get rid of anything or anyone that is in your way of your purpose, your happiness. I don't care if they're a relative, because I've had to cut off family members.
Come on,
Ooh,
Jesus.
girl, you are preaching.
Come on, Jesus.
So I had
my
people
money,
tell
dog.
I've had people tell me to my face, including close relatives, that I would not graduate from college, and then tried to comment under my pages, under my photos of me graduating from college. So you gotta you can't be afraid to drop people off, and don't be obligated to somebody just because they blood or just because they've been around. And don't put up with abuse and mistreatment because you feel obligated to somebody.
Look at that. Look at that. We got
That's what I was saying.
Yourself. Don't let the lame stick in your life, even if they are family members.
Yeah.
And to close it out,
I cut off my grandmother, so.
Whoa.
Gee.
Cold world.
Granny.
There that go.
Sorry, Granny. All right. What Ray, what you got?
Don't forget to blend your contour.
That is excellent advice, actually.
Don't forget to blend your weaves. No, but seriously, if you are interested in doing podcasts or just anything, like, don't be like me. Don't let what somebody else is doing stop you from doing what you want to do. Because we got one person, and I actually took the time.
That's what I just said, Melania.
Oh no.
Stay focused.
Ophio no, I think is how you say her Twitter name. She is like the only person who tweets us, and she's honestly super nice. And there you can be trash, not too much unlike myself and not too much unlike my friends. This is my word before y'all hop in. You can be trash and talk about anything, and there is somebody in the world that'll listen to you.
That's true. It's very true.
So
I love it.
Somebody listens to Raven. So.
Yeah. And don't forget to tip your bartenders and your waiters and waitresses. It's very important.
I'll say another thing. Write it down. If you have an idea, write it down.
Vision boards. Is that what we on? We doing
that too. Whatever.
I did
however,
one this year, and it was fun, and I feel like a lot of my visions happened.
However you learn, however you remember. People have different learning styles, but if you have an idea for a podcast, write it down. And then if you get another idea for a podcast, write that down. Everything. Write it down.
Dope. I'm about to jump off here and start writing, man. So I appreciate the three of you coming on, and listen, we not only network members, but I'm a fan. I enjoy what you guys are doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing you continue to grow. Finally, we will go with the way that people can reach you, starting with, here we go, Krystal Trula. How you doing?
All right. So, once again, you can find me.
All of them. Hit them.
Everywhere.
With fervor.
YouTube, Krystal Trula, on Twitter and on Tumblr as the Krystal Trula. I'm on Facebook. You can find me, if you find me on Instagram, congratulations. If you find me on Snapchat, I'm a little bit concerned. You can also email me personally at ask_Krissy@yahoo.com. I will do my best to answer because I get bombarded with emails. But and then also if you want
soft flex.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No,
I said soft flex.
Wow.
I get bombarded with emails.
Yeah.
That's not what I meant. But anyway, and also if you want to contribute to my YouTube channel and help me build and continue to grow, you can become a patron at patreon.com/Krystal Trula. That's patreon.com. And then, all the info is there. So, yeah.
Dope.
Also, I am not like Lloydia. If you want to send me something X-rated, please send it to me.
All right, moving on. So, Lloyd, what?
I am sick of her.
I'm being honest.
Lloyd, where can they reach you?
I could be found at thatgirl_Lloyd on Twitter and IG. And you can find me on Snapchat as Lloyd_Banks with the XXX. And I know that's misleading, but don't send me anything X-rated. Just don't.
Awesome.
Okay? Also, find me at the show handle at T for Tried It on Twitter. Interact with us. We don't get that many emails, unlike our famous adjacent friend.
Oh my God. Okay.
I think I sent y'all a tweet today.
Nope.
So.
I'm on my Twitter now.
Sure didn't. I'm pretty sure I did. The T for well, yeah. I don't know.
I didn't see it because I was checking.
Maybe I sent it to somebody else. Don't judge me. So, finally, Ray, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me all over the internet: Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter. At This Date is a Jerk. You can find me trolling around in the Facebook page of the Black Astronauts Podcast Network. I am Ray Vin. That's my first and last name. Oh no, what happened? Did you hear it?
Stay focused.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that was me for a second.
Wow, ADHD.
I'm the only person who heard that.
No, my thing went completely out. So
It's a
that
ghost.
I heard
Not a
it,
big
but the
deal.
show must go on.
Okay.
Like, gosh,
Yeah,
Beyonce.
but find me all over the show. Find me all over the internet. This Date is a Jerk Facebook page. I'm Ray Vin, first name, last name.
All right, dope. Well, I appreciate it again. As always, reach out to me at Teddy_D_ on Twitter. We've got a lot of great shows lined up. We are going to have a part 2 of the political show that we did. So we waited until both the primaries are done and both of the conventions. So please look forward to that. And we're also going to be spotlighting some more dope shows. So as always, appreciate the time, and we'll get with y'all later on. Peace.
Peace.
Bye, play cousin.
Yay, bye.